sampling engage in that are difficult even for people who have years and years of expertise. I find as an attorney that these people have to constantly be kept on their toes as to properly administering the quality action and quality control to ensure that the sampling is done correctly and that the evidence that's collected based on it is credible. So often we have to caution citizens that they might not be using the full quality assurance, quality control that's necessary to bring that information into court as evidence. It could be indicative, it could be something that might alert people as to the fact that there should be further analyses and sampling done, but it may not be enough to form the basis of a lawsuit.
Okay, I have a question for you, and I'm sure that there have been many lawsuits filed against in the industry. And my question is, has any evidence been provided from the EPA that someone can use that actually benefited someone that filed a lawsuit? Meaning, you're saying that we can't do it. We can't, is whatever we gather may not be substantial enough. If we were to use what you give us, would that be sufficient enough? Or is it something that maybe we can't even use yours in things? Because what I'm always seeing through any reports that I read is that the level was not of any level of concern. Or, so it is a catch-22 that I'm hearing here, but that's neither here nor there. I really don't. I'm pressed for time, so I really want to get through this material.
We have a clarification on this end.
Okay.
Hi, this is Pat Evangelista. We by no means are saying or suggesting that you or any other citizen should not be collecting any of your own samples or having any of your own analyses done. All we're saying is that there are some pretty stringent and detailed protocols that we follow to generate data that then allows us to enforce our laws. And so we're simply saying that if you were to generate such data, we would look at it through the lens of those protocols to try and pass judgment on it. And if it didn't pass that sort of protocol, that's not to say that we wouldn't consider it for other purposes. It might provide some indication to us that we should pay some attention to a particular area and perhaps do some of our own testing, etc. So please understand that we're not trying to discourage you from doing any of your own testing. It's just that we would have to be careful in how we would review it and use it. In terms of how we use our own data.
There's a guy by the name of Denny Larson. He is out of Oakland, San Francisco, California. He is known to be the global community monitor. Has he met the standards of sampling by the EPA? Do you know of Danny Larson?
No, I do not, so I can't answer your question.
Okay.
But we do have some familiarity with him. But no, EPA does not say that his methods are comparable to EPA's methods.
Okay.
We know he's done a lot of studies and he's done many projects, and many of those projects have led to other investigations by EPA. But it's not as simple as having Denny show up in St. Croix and do a study, and EPA is going to pursue enforcement action. There needs to be a higher level of detail of review that goes into.
Do you have?
Even those projects.
I'm sorry to cut you off, and I'm pressed for time. So if you can just see if you can limit your answers to about 2 minutes. Do you teach, do EPA teach any individual in the community to do it in your to your standards?
No, we don't
Okay.
provide training to citizens. No.
All right, thank you. All right, I'm moving on to EPA inspections and site visits. I need to know. I asked this question before, but this in particular, I would like to know. In 1990, you stated that you actually, EPA was founded. Can you tell me, when was the first site visit here in the Virgin Islands from the EPA?
That's not in here. Let me put it in here.
You could give me a guesstimate too. I know I like evidence, but you could give me just a guesstimate as well.
Ms. Mason, I think we'd have to research as to when the first site visit. But if I might just mention in reference to your prior question, one of the reasons I was stationed in St. Croix was indeed the concerns of the community and what we potentially would call an EJ community, close downwind to Hovensa and the other industries that are in those areas. And I don't want to take up much of your time because, but suffice it to say that while St. Croix, Hovensa was still in operation, we were contemplating doing a very extensive air toxics study, much more comprehensive than what was originally done. And Masita Khan, I believe, is on here. She can talk about that previous study. But that was in the works with ATSDR. As Hovensa stopped working, that has been tabled for now. But obviously, if enough concerns and issues arise, it can be relooked at. So I just want to mention that we have looked into that, and it's still on the table if need be down the road.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to clarify that the APA started in 1970. I believe the date of our inception was December 2nd, 1970.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna skip over. I want to skip over to one of a topic for just one quick minute, so I can get this one, which is the human carcinogens. Right now, Feli mentioned to you that we are having a large amount of individuals that are having cancer. Now, I understand that there's many factors for what the person eats, the way they live, where they live, and so forth. But one of the things we should not exclude is the refinery. And I find that in the articles on the, I think you call it the ADSTRs, they are very worded that it's like it's taken out of the equation, so to speak, just the way it's written. So I would like to suggest that these I think it's called ADSTRs, right? They are written for the public, correct?
Yeah, I think you're talking about the health effects statements. That's the Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry, ATSDR.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the way they're written, they're written in the way to somewhat exclude. It's just very subtle, but anyway, I'm gonna read off, and bear with me for 1 minute, but I'm gonna read off some toxics, Feli, that EPA could tell me that whether Hess or Hovensa or Hovic, whatever their name is right now, if they ever use these chemicals, because these chemicals are known to promote cancer. So bear with me because I'm not a scientist. So it's carcinogenics is cancer, okay? All right, benzene, 1,3-butadiene or butadiene, dioxin, siren, methyl ethyl ketone, carbon disulfide. These are, and then it has another one, polycellics. Their organic compounds are known as PAHs. So,
Polycyclic element hydrocarbons.
okay, so these are all phyllide. These are all chemicals that refinery uses, and they are used at Hovensa. And these are chemicals that are known to give some form of cancer. So my question then becomes, it's a catch-22 for us here at the Virgin Islands, because two things: we have a government that hasn't done their due diligence since EPA has been founded, and we don't have a health registry. We don't have a cancer registry that can target or can test to determine if there is a direct effect from the industry that's here. So we're at two disadvantages at this time. So this is the reason why I feel I was explaining that we need the feds to really enforce your policies and procedures here. Now, there's a saying here that the federal government do not want to come across as being colonialized, or they don't want to seem that way. But I've lived in the States long enough to know that that's not really the case. So we have helicopters that, they actually hover over our fields to determine whether things are being planted illegally. So I don't believe in, I want to say I am a citizen that I don't mind if you come in and don't feel as though you are being too aggressive with us, because people are truly dying here, and it's at a rapid pace. And unfortunately, these toxics take some toxics, if you are working very close to them in the towers and some different places within the facility, you can die instantly, whereas they take a longer period of time to happen when you are downwind. So we are feeling the effects now of the individuals downwind, and for some reason it's not that important to our government here, because we have still only 2013 we have now come to come together to try to create a cancer registry. So if I was incorrect, please correct me if there were one of the toxins that I listed that is not a cancer agent, or so to speak.
Ms. Mason, before we answer that question, let me just talk to the EPA staff real quick. I know it's 3 o'clock, it's 1500. Some of you will have to indeed cut away very soon, if not. Since I do control this particular line, if any of you can stay an extra 15 minutes to answer some additional questions for Ms. Mason, please do, with the understanding that some of you will have to cut away. And Ms. Mason, would you be okay if we stick with you for another 15 minutes?
Oh,
or do you also have a...
No, I appreciate it, because I know I just have to have, I think it's one more topic, which is the the startups and the shutdowns, and I think I'm pretty much finished as well. So after that topic,
that's great. I'd rather wrap up. Right, I'd rather wrap up what we can now. If you can stay, please do. If not, we understand that you'll be cutting away. Just let us know who needs to cut away so that we just not go in that direction. Thank you.
All right, Jeff, you're cutting into my time. All right, wrap it up.
all right.
Have a